But he also has unfinished business in the junior ranks. He's at Imola racing in the European Formula 3 Championship. It was Max's results in this category that brought him to the attention of the Formula 1 world. There are only 2 races left and Max wants to end on a high. He still has an outside chance of winning the championship.
At the moment we are in Imola for the F3 race, the European Championship. So it's always nice to win it, of course, but it's always nice to have something already for next year. So I just try to do my best, and more than that I can't do.
Maybe they race a little bit different against Max, but it doesn't matter. Max has to get more and more experience. That's why also we finish off the season in F3.
It's his first race in Formula 3 since his promotion was announced. But race 1 doesn't go to plan.
So I started 15. I had a good first lap, I think I was already 9. And then I was, charging through the field with some good overtakes, and then I tried around the outside in the first chicane, but then I just ran out of space and touched like the high curb, so the car bottomed. I couldn't steer anymore, so I went off. Yeah, it was my mistake. I was too greedy. I think I still had some more laps to do it. So I dropped down to P7 or P8. The rear suspension was bent, so my speed wasn't great, but I was still like on the same speed as the other guys. But then like a few laps after, I got bumped off the track. They really wanted to beat an F1 driver, so yeah, you could feel it. And then I was trying to overtake another guy, and we touched, so that was quite an action-packed race, let's say like that.
But in race 2, he showed the talent that took him to Formula 1.
I just had, I think, a great race. I really enjoyed it, and lap by lap I was charging through the field. At the end, taking second position on the line is, yeah, was just really, really amazing, to be honest.
And in race 3, he took the win, although his chances of winning the title had gone.
It was a really good weekend, and also for the commentators and everybody around there. I think they were enjoying the races.
Coming up, Max gets closer to Formula 1 as he visits Red Bull Racing and begins his final preparations to join the next generation of Formula 1 drivers. Max only has one Formula 3 race left, and he's hoping to end the season with a positive result. This time, the races are at Hockenheim, sharing the track with DTM. And with a bigger event comes a bigger crowd and more attention from fans and press. His team, Van Amersfoort Racing, have already helped one Verstappen into Formula 1. Jos was also part of the team.
We always kept in contact with Jos since he drove for us in 1992. So the first time Max drove one of our cars, and like all Verstappens, your mouth falls open and it didn't close anymore. They keep amazing you every day.
While Max's father is often by his side, today he's joined by his mother as well.
I think he was 3-4 years old, and I remember my ex-husband was racing, and he told me, "Mom, I want to have a go-kart." So I called Jos. I said, "Now it's time." 6 years old, when he did some races, you can see it. It's just a feeling that he has. He's 17, but he's my boy. At this point, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. I think I will realize it the moment when he is in Australia, when he is there and he goes out of the pit, and I will realize it.
Max is on pole for the first race.
Just controlled it from the start and pulled away.
A perfect lights to flag victory, his 10th win of the season. The other 2 races are more low-key in the midfield, but one move does stand out on championship winner Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, I mean, we were really close to each other. We were not giving each other much room, and, he doesn't want to get passed by me because we were always rivals throughout the whole year. So I think for everybody watching, it was just great.
Which means at the end of the season, in his rookie year, Max finishes 3rd in the Formula 3 Drivers' Championship. As the Formula 3 season ends, Max is upping his preparations for 2015. Today he's in Milton Keynes, the headquarters of Red Bull Racing.
In a few years, there's one of mine in there.
He'll be getting some hours on their state-of-the-art race simulator. As testing is limited in Formula One, the simulator is a vital part in driver development.
It's a great tool for us to educate and develop the drivers. I mean, to look at a driver's technique, work with him on his technique. It's a very good tool for us to be able to look at the development of any young driver.
Okay, Max, you're good to go.
It's also important for Red Bull Racing to keep an eye on young talent. Since 2009, all their drivers have come from Toro Rosso.
Those two, it's really hard to get like the whole rotation on the steering wheel. Yeah, this one as well.
Hi.
Hi.
So you got everything you need, and I understand the simulator's going okay?
Yeah, I think everything went perfect.
Yeah. He's behaving?
Yeah, so far. Yeah, so far, yeah.
Yeah, good. So good. Well, the purpose of Toro Rosso is to develop young drivers, you know, as a pool of talent for Red Bull Racing. That's worked exceptionally well with Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, now Danny Kvyat. And time will tell with Max, but it's really down to him now. You know, Toro Rosso have done a super job in developing young drivers, and you know, we'll see how he goes.
While Max's car is busy being prepared in Italy, he must use the winter to prepare his body for the demands of Formula One.
First we test them, that we have a lot of information, and with all these data we find out the deficits, and then you have to decide which part is the first priority where you have to start with.
He's in Austria visiting the Thalgau training centre, where specialists will keep an eye on his progress.
Well, the last few weeks have been really busy, but I mean, it's a part of it, so you just deal with it. It's 1.5, 2 hours, so it's really important that you're fit enough to do a race. I think like the endurance training is really important. I think they are preparing me well. It's hard, but it should be like that.
The endurance supports all the abilities for a long time, that you have a high concentration level, that all the function in the brain works, because if you get tired, all the functions are decreasing.
You just need to be physically strong enough, you know, that you don't have any problems while you're racing, because we are doing so many switches on the steering wheel. You're trying to improve the little bits of the car when you have a little oversteer or understeer. You know, you try to improve that by yourself as well, so it's much more what you have to think about.
But before Max's life becomes too busy, he will spend some time with his family.
We are in Genk in Belgium, where it all started for me. We did some go-karting. I was really busy the last few months, and then now I got the chance again, so back to my roots.
On this place is where he started, actually on this small track here on the left-hand side. He was 4.5. We asked the owner if he could have a private track because he was so small, and this is where he started.
I'm the owner of this circuit here. I met all the guys who are now in Formula One, from Alonso, Button. Button was 3 years with me. A lot of drivers. He also was driving with me, and he was also working with me on the engines. He was 14 or 15 years old, and he was extremely good. This is the place where Max is the first time went on a go-kart. In the beginning, I think he was 2-3 times a week testing and learned him to drive. But you can see that Max had feelings. He knows how it works. No? He won nearly all the races, even in the little bit higher class and then higher class. He was unbeatable. There are footballers who are playing in Champions League when they are 16 years old. If you are good, you're good.
After months of training and preparation, the day has come for Max to drive the 2015 Toro Rosso car for the first time.
Well, we are in Misano right now. Of course, you know, it's exciting, and you've been waiting for it now a few months, so you've seen the progress of what they were doing in the factory, so you want to jump in the car right now and do some laps.
On our side, it's a new car, it's 2 new drivers, it's a new installation, it's pretty much everything on the car, to be honest.
The car and the whole team are in Misano, including Max's new teammate Carlos Sainz, also a rookie with a famous surname. His father was a world rally champion.
We will work together hard in this pre-season testing to push the car forward and to do a good job. So I'm pretty confident we will get on very well and we can do a good season together.
Max will have to watch as Carlos gets the first ever ride of the STR10. As pre-season testing approaches, Max's media duties also step up. Finally, after a morning of filming, it's his chance to try the car.
It was good. I mean, it's always the first test, you know, to check all stuff, and so far, you know, everything was working, so yeah, it felt really good. Hopefully in a few years, I'm still in F1 and I can look back at this documentary, you know, with a big smile. I still have some years in front of me to try and be the youngest F1 Grand Prix winner, so I will try to go for that. Well, maybe one day, you know, Red Bull gives me the chance if I do a good job. We'll see. I mean, the important thing now is do a good job with Toro Rosso.
Now, it's all down to Max.